Future Huey and future Loveling coaching WE and LGD.
My goodness. World Elite going to ban away Diana as the first ban here. Twisted Fate going to be the answer. Of course, GA will be playing a bit of that, but there you can see Loveling on your screen.
I can't unsee
Huey
now.
and Loveling, both coaching in the future. They went back in time so they could help get LGD and WE further on. Loveling needs to rethink his choices here as World Elite, dwindling as far as these points are concerned. Shen and Alistair are going to be following bans here for WE though, as Callista and Rise. Very standard red side bans going to come through from LGD after the Twisted Fate of prior. Of course, WE with some options now as they move into the pick phase, and Akon can just go straight back onto the Shen if he wants to.
Wow, really quick and fast ban phase here. So the target ban going out on Diana against Godv, and they immediately prioritize Victor. Like you said, the Shen is still up and available, and LGD seem very uninterested in it.
Yeah, very uninterested in it. Is Xiaoxi actually going through a few options here. Acorn feeling okay about locking in that Janna, and is going to do so. They are actually going to take in their whole bottom lane here as Imp and POL. Pretty happy with how that last game went, and I can understand it. Now WE to answer. And GA can go back to the Ezreal mid if he wants to, but I'm not sure whether he will after that. Well, actually,
well, he's also
Victor has also been locked in. Yeah,
Victor,
that's
but
a very good point. Spirit.
I won't stop you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Let's just talk about that for a moment, shall we? As Tahm Kench jungle could be the option here for Spirit. Makes a whole lot of sense.
I don't even. I'm ignoring Spirit right now until he locks in a real champion.
Whoa, what are you saying? Just because we haven't seen Tahm Kench yet in the LPL?
They just tease me. They're never going to commit to it.
Well, GA might be grabbing Mystic's Vayne, a champion that he's definitely looked strong on. Spirit actually, he doesn't look like he's having a giggle just yet.
Maybe
oh man, I really want this to be locked in.
Maybe he'll forget that he has it hovered, and it'll just be like...
Yeah, see, there it is.
This was your
hey,
fault.
Look,
I wasn't
at least
invested.
It's another aquatic-based champion.
I was going to let it go. Now I got invested in the Tahm Kench, and I'm stuck with Nami.
Nami. Well, Nami and Vayne are going to be locked in here for WE, and LGD now with a whole bunch of options to take onto the Rift. Xiaoxi thinking about the Gragas, taking it away from Spirit.
Oh my god, are you ready for your fun history LPL fact?
Yes, I am!
Conan was one of the... I actually think he was the first support to bring over Nami to the LPL. So back when Lucian and Nami was like the big rage over in Korea, the Chinese supports were having a lot of trouble producing those results, you know, shifting over from Annie into disengaged supports like Janna and Nami. And Hero came over as the first Korean coach for any Chinese team and put Conan on Nami for the playoffs.
Interesting.
Yep.
Speaking of interesting, Aurelia is going to be locked in here for Acorn. Has previously played it in a last couple of series, but WE, will this be sort of a response to what is a predictable Scion pick? I don't know. I don't know how that matchup works. Well, look, Lucas terrified. He's like, oh, what? What is happening?
I mean, he can pick Scion because you would just safely wave clear, but the issue is that Aurelia has so many tools on her kit to not only chase down Scion with her Blade Surge. She got really Vladimir there for a second. But likewise, with her true damage, she can cut through the tank. That is the Scion. Le Scion.
Oh, Fizz has actually been locked in here, and I believe that's going to be Spirit on the Fizz jungle.
Runeglaive Fizz. Spirit looks happy about it.
Really happy about it. I'm going to carry jungler, guys. Yeah. Well, Godby. Now, he's got his opportunity to pick his mid laner, unless he's going to be taking the Diana into the mid lane. I mean, not the Diana, sorry. The Aurelia into the mid lane, which is an option here. Not sure whether he's going to be going up against a Victor with it, whether he wants to do that. But, back to the Orianna. That could be very exciting.
I always do enjoy watching Godby play his Orianna. Possibly more than his Diana. In fact, I'm going to say I enjoy his Orianna more than his Diana.
His Orianna is my favorite champion of his. Just because he plays it so differently from everyone else. Likes to use that command attack to do a lot of his damage and builds early. Leandri's actually did in the last split. Not sure whether he's going to be doing it now that we do have slight changes on the itemization for our AP carries. But we'll see whether he does do that, as it has been locked in. So Godby going to be taking his world-class Orianna into this one, and the double disengage options of the explosive cask and the monsoon mean that LGD are going to be able to, you know, organize the fights into positions that they really want to take them.
If you haven't seen Godvi play Orianna, buckle up because you're in for a treat. This is one of the best Oriannas in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I will definitely put my reputation on that statement. Now, how he uses Orianna, like Atlas was starting to explain, is very different from other Oriannas. So he's going to use his command attack, and think about it this way. Godvi stands very close to his ball because obviously then he can whip it around quicker because it has less distance to travel. He whips his ball back and forth,
yes,
and it's just a bludgeoning object as he runs towards you. So instead of most Oriannas that kind of sit back on the edge of the fight, they look for that big 5-man shockwave, maybe tagging you a couple times with like a dissonance. He rushes forward and stands at like arm's reach of the ball and just slaps you with it.
Yeah, he does his best Sejuani impression. Basically uses it like a flail. But as we go through the lineups, Aluka is going to be taking his Scion against Acorn's Aurelia. Spirit on the Fizz into Xiaoxi, who's taking the Gragas away from him this time around. But Spirit going to have some fun here on a bit of a carry jungler. We'll see whether he grabs that Runeglaive and really goes off there as GA on the Victor. First picked here against the Orianna of Godvi and Mystic, up against Imp, who picked the Sivir very early and has been a lot of picks of the Vayne into that particular champion as Conan going to try and answer with Disengage against the Disengage of PWL.
So a lot of multiple damage threats coming out of WE's composition. You have Xie with carry potential on Victor. Likewise, it's all about creating space and control for Mystic to go off. And on the other side, it's the massive AoE murder train from LGD.
Yeah, LGD really trying to start these team fights, get the ball ready onto that Aurelia. But let's waste no more time. Let's hop onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for our final game of the evening. WE taking on LGD. LGD already ahead one game and did so pretty substantially last time around.
Had a slow start to their early game, however. We'll see if they're able to pick it up, especially because we talked about multiple carry threats. Oh, it's a little Oscar Fizz.
Oh, really? Is that what you call it?
He looks like an Oscar. Do they not have that in Australia?
No. It's fine. We know what the Oscars are.
Oh, okay, good.
Just calm down.
Didn't know what a dolphin was.
I think we do know what a dolphin is, and most of them come from here. It's not true. Flat out not true. I don't know where. Like, I think the ocean is generally not owned by a particular country, so I think I failed on that front. That being said, Godby is going to be able to get one auto attack into the ward that GA managed to put down, and LGD actually focusing on this bottom side, trying to pick out the lane swap, because I believe they wanted the 2v2. You can see already Mystic and Conan in position on the bottom side.
Imp is standing into the mid lane. We'll see if he commits over to top side. Spotted out by a ward, so ball is in WE's court if they... Oh, they're just being funny now.
Yeah, it's being a bit silly now.
They know it's warded. They're trying to mess with them.
We are actually going to have the double backs here from WE. Do they want the 2v2?
Well, if they choose to follow this, then yeah, they're looking for it.
That is interesting.
Unless it's like a trap where they think that, okay, LGD knows, so they're going to fake us out, and then they're going to go to the bottom side.
Well, they are looking to stand around.
They know now.
This one out. Yeah, so...
Yep, they're going to commit.
Yeah, Mystic and Conan looking to try and go into the 2v2 themselves. Imp just wandering a whole bunch of creeps around the Rift. Aluka going to die to something. It is going to be the Raptor Campus. He's going to clear that one out now with his undead form. Acorn and Xiaoxi is going to share some love around this jungle. And I'm really interested as to why Mystic and Conan would want to go into this 2v2 situation. Do you think that, you know, Sivir, even at level 1, not going to have as good a time against a Vayne?
If the lane is even in a Vayne matchup, it's actually fairly difficult to trade with Vayne, just because the empowered damage on the tumble. The thing about Vayne is that she doesn't have any tools or abilities to augment the wave control, and so it's very easy to push her in and then just tap her with auto attacks. Well, because if you think about your auto attack animation, it's effectively a CC through the duration of the animation to pick up the CS. Yeah. So if you're CSing, your opponent can just walk up and slap you in the face. So the thing about Vayne is she's not necessarily weak in matchups because she doesn't do damage. She does a ridiculous amount of damage. She's weak because she can't control the wave, which allows you to push her in and to get those free hits.
Well, if there's anyone that can do that, it is most definitely Sivir. As you can see, Boomerang's heading over that wave over and over again. Good little auto attack there from Mystic, but you can see this wave just being constantly pushed towards this turret. And Imp just more than happy to go back to this Sivir and Managed to get an MVP last game. Oh, nice use of the shield there from POL to stop the damage onto him. But Tycall's Blessing now going to be used by Conan to help Mystic trade back. So far, not necessarily working out.
I find it really interesting that they decided to take the 2v2, because naturally...
I just think it's really weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. Nami doesn't augment your lane ability at all either, although they do have the advantage of having sustain.
Yeah, and I guess Tycall's Blessing does, you know, help you out in a trade. Very
yeah,
similar
so
to
again, if she goes to Q and then you do the Nami E and the Nami W on top of Vayne tumbling forward, that's a lot of damage that is effectively going to completely eat up the Janna shield, which means that if Vayne continues to chase you, and she has the same range as Sivir.
Well, here's the fight in the top side of the map. Imp going very, very low, but Mystic as well. The Ignite burning down. The heal has been popped. The flash out from Imp as he tries to turn this one around. Xiaoxi decides not to go for the flash after the body slam. WE actually doing fine here in this matchup.
Yeah, Mystic getting the advantage there. And again, we talked about, you know, if the wave is even, if it's Vayne against Sivir, Vayne is going to win. Vayne is not weak in lane due to her damage. It's her minion control. I cannot stress that enough.
Well, at this point, WE very rightly so going to change back that lane. Make sure that they can get this 2v2 because it is definitely working out. Aluka just farming here on the bottom side as Spirit is paying a visit. Blade Surge was used. There's the Equilibrium Strike, but Spirit able to slow down Akon with that red buff, forces the flash out, gets himself the slow as well, but Spirit does tank up a turret shot. Akon going to be fine, but that's a summoner spell down.
Yep, forcing the flash. That's exactly best case scenario here from Aluka. Aluka doing a good job making the most out of his initial wave clear. It's very mana hungry for Aurelia to clear waves early, especially if she wants to use her Blade Surge. Level 5 is typically where Aurelia is really going to take off because she has enough points in her true damage where she can just infinitely sustain herself, or sustain herself well, I guess I should say, versus infinitely.
Infinitely probably not the correct term. Oh, okay, sorry.
Hyperbole? I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know.
This is the internet.
There's only supposed to be cats here.
Okay, Akon tanking a bit of damage here from Aluka, just being his wave cleary Scion self. Not a whole lot going to come from this situation, though. Xiaoxi was thinking about getting something done here on the top side of the map, but not actually going to find much. Once again, Mystic continuing to have some power here. 11 CS in the lead. Double Doran's Blade actually picked up from Imp as he headed back to base.
When you don't want to lose lane ever, the Double Dorans.
Beautiful. Not exactly Genji tier just yet, but the triple Dorans will come in that front, but
Time Lord Ginja.
wonderful stuff. I wonder what's in for us next as far as what Genja's working on now. Always interested to know.
Otherwise, things fairly calm around the map. So checking in with our junglers, Spirit, you know, had the initial gank down bottom, has, or is looking for his, looks like a Cinder Hulk actually, as opposed to a Rune Glaive. So not going for that carry-oriented Fizz, going for more of that tank. So how Cinder Hulk Fizz works, if you haven't seen it in a bit, is about creating superficial tankiness by building CDR and then Cinder Hulk to empower your playful Trickster airtime, and then just the natural tank stats that Cinder Hulk will give you. But
well, there's going to be condemned to the wall in the top lane here as POL takes a whole bunch of damage. Aluka's going to make his way in. There's the unstoppable onslaught, but straight into the wall as Imp does have the Eye of the Storm now on top of him. Aluka flashes over, but not going to find the Roar of the Slayer onto Xiaoxi, and WE now sort of just milling about as everyone is in the top lane.
That is actually really uncharacteristic for Aluka. He's normally one of the best Scions in the LPL and really good at hitting those ults, but here we go, we have a counter teleport.
Yeah, teleport in from Akon just to make sure that no one's going to die here. Only, he's level 7, so he does have the Transcendent Blades in order to get some extra sort of range damage down. Not going to be using it just yet. Nim's just going to push out this wave. So WE sort of twiddling their thumbs, thinking, okay, we're all up here now.
They should rotate their bot lanes down bottom.
Bottom lane.
Bottom.
Rotate the bot lane to the bot lane.
I feel like Mystic, because he had the opportunity where he shoved the wave in, that they should move their AD carry bottom now that both top laners don't have teleport available, and get control over this dragon pit. And as soon as Imp sees Mystic back up onto this this wave, he should back and run bottom, and LGD should take dragon.
Well, he has backed away. You can see the wave is going to crash into this turret. Mystic, of course, here. Clearing this one out as best as possible. In fact, LGD walking all the way back to the turret here before they back away, and Godby going to clear out this mid lane.
Yep, they're swapping them.
Yeah, going for the Rod of Ages here by the looks of things for Godby. So changing up his build just a little bit. We did see just before that the Seraphs and the Rod of Ages is the way that Doinby likes to build the Orianna. Didn't work out in that particular game, but I don't think it was entirely on Doinby as to why it didn't. He had some pretty decent shockwaves in that game and was getting the work done that he wanted to, but now Godby trying to take down the Wolf Camp as well as the blue buff. Starting things off here for Shadow.
But here we go. Here's the swap back. So Imp, again, pushed the wave into the tower, saw the opportunity where he wouldn't lose out on creeps, decides to go back, and LGD now have full control over the Dragon Pit because they have a numbers discrepancy on that side of the map with their duo.
Yeah, Shashi as well. He's towards the top side of the map, but it is the 2v1 situation, like you said, for Akon. So with no teleports for either of our top laners.
Help.
Yeah.
Assist me.
Blue buff actually going to be taken here for GA as well. So
Danger.
actually, no one just the LPL has gone away from taking dragons. We don't really care about taking dragons.
I'm telling you, LGD's early game without TVQ actually looks weaker than normal, which the early game has always been kind of a problem for them because again, the sooner PYL gets involved with them, the better things look. But this is.
Him standing in a position there to try and pick up the spell shield mana. He's able to, most definitely, and just wandering around underneath this turret. Of course, Aluka just unable to put on very much pressure as LGD continue to get damage down onto this outer in the bottom lane.
There we go, though. With so much control over the bottom side, like you pointed out, they are going to go ahead and collapse down there and start the dragon. We made it, boys!
Yeah, we did it! 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Earliest dragon of the night. My goodness.
Still
Close to, actually.
earlier to the average, though, which is typically around 11 minutes. So they're on time, but I feel it took them a bit to recognize. They timed it well. Let's say this. It was safer because they waited for Xie to make the back, knowing that Victor wouldn't be available. So
yeah, good point.
Good job, guys.
Well, Imp continuing to farm out this wave, he's going to be able to get some work done. Went back and grabbed himself some brown bags so he can walk around in style. Godby as well, clearing out this wave underneath the turret very well. But you can see GA, he's farming quite nicely. 105 at 11 minutes, pretty good. 110. He's on the clock.
I feel like this has been the theme all night. How well can you farm?
Yeah. The agricultural evening of LPL.
These actually very important. I don't want to say culturally because that sounds weird. It was a trend in the LPL that prioritizing farm and having really high farm in their mid laners was kind of the #1 determining factor of your position of power in the LPL.
That's how you decide who's good.
Well, also think about Xiaowei Xiao, his impact in the NALCS and what he's really well known for. It's farming.
Oh, yeah.
So, and obviously one of the more, I'm not going to say historic, but older mid laners from the LPL.
Yeah. Well, you can see Spirit was thinking about ganking this bottom lane as Imp is just roaming around, killing creeps one after the other. Boomerang going to find Aluka there a little bit, but Ebb and Flow going to keep him up in health. Oh, actually, just collects himself some mana on the Hunt's being popped. Unstoppable Onslaught, not going to find anything there as the fish going to be delivered to PYL. Imp still takes the damage there as the teleport was cancelled. Might have actually been condemned out there by Mystic.
Really beautiful microplay from Imp, just to push that as far as he could. Again, making the most out of Sivir's ultimate, popping the On the Hunt to just narrowly dodge out of Aluka's charge. PYL making sure that he protected Imp's flank, catching that fish. So there's so much fun to watch in this bot lane.
Yeah, Imp's actually closed off that gold deficit as well.
Just
I mean, the CS
no
deficit.
fear, so aggressive, so far forward.
Yeah, well, he got Acro Prison now. There's the Tidal Wave as well, but Spell Shields that one. Beautiful Monsoon there from PYL as Spirit. He's all the way in here. Urchin Strike was used. Imp might die here. Xiaoxi with a fantastic ultimate as well. Aluka tanking up the turret. Aqua Prison not going to find anything here, but Imp is still alive. That's the main point. Godby coming in from the side. Is he going to be able to get the kill? No, decides not to, as it's actually going to be donated over. Finally picks one up as Conan goes down. Aluka, his undead self, unable to get any work done, and That kiting play from Imp was fantastic, but LGD just playing so well together.
This bot lane is disgustingly good. That was incredible. All on the back of Imp and PY. Like, just these guys don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
It just, like, the trust there, that was awesome to watch.
Very, very cool. And the fact that Xiaoxi, was right there, ready to pick up where everyone left off is just fantastic to watch as well. So Imp now with the possible gold advantage that he's picked up a couple of assists as well as kept up in the farm. Might be able to go back and grab himself some more items. BF Sword now in the back pocket as he is going to be back and probably grab himself an Avarice Blade. Maybe some more Berserker's Greaves as well.
World champion. Proving that he doesn't need Mata.
No, well, of course. Well, pretty good as well. Luca going to use that shield to stop some of this damage from Akon. He's probably not too afraid of this Aurelia at the moment. Trinity Force almost done. Akon here on the top side.
Versus the Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
No.
Here we go, though. Imp completed the upgraded boot, so again, that build is all about cost efficiency for pushing down towers. Doesn't have the pickaxe, but does have the PF sword available as well as the Avarice Blade. So choosing that, again, I'm going into a farm lane. I'm here to push down creep waves, take towers, and I'm all out of creeps.
Yeah. Well, there's a tower here, though, so he's going to be able to take that one. The creep's probably going to finish that one off now. There's LGD going to try and pressure this blue buff. 2 people on the bottom side of the map for WE, so LGD with a massive man advantage are going to be able to brute force this one. Mystic will be able to take this outer turret on the bottom side of the map in response to the one that LGD have already taken. So towers evened up now, but look at all of the creeps dying to this top outer turret. And Imp just waiting to get that last hit.
And likewise, Mystic not bouncing the wave. In fact, it's going to push it forward, which is why Acorn made his initial back, so he's going to be able to catch all of that big free CS. See if Luca chases on him here.
Yeah, looking to try and find some damage at least. Roar the Slayer for the slow is going to be there. You can see you've got Conan and Spirit making their way up the river. Both of them with the ability to swim, being Fizz and Nami. Fantastic use of that transportation route.
Swimming.
Yeah, exactly.
What does he say? Lunchtime.
Jaundice Fizz.
I like the cute champions. Kog'Maw, Fizz.
I like how Cosmore is a cute.
All the champions that look like fish. Did I tell you that my name was almost fish? My name means frog, for those who don't know.
Really?
But I almost picked fish.
Just the word fish?
No, the word, it's Icelandic for frog, froskirin, versus fish, which is fiskirin.
I like fiskirin. It makes it feel like I've got a lisp when I say it.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I chose not to.
Oh, damn it.
But I like fish. That's my story.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah, I like it. Well, you know, bro doesn't really fit here. So it's good. You get to avoid that one completely. Pickaxe now has been completed by Yogo. He's got a full bag of items.
They're setting up for this dragon, making sure that they're moving on top of the objective as well as controlling the scuttle crab. Spirit just kind of gave up on that one. He's like, you know what? Maybe not.
Not this time. Imp's going to be able to lock it down. Xiaoxi would have been able to get an extra 30 gold for that Imp. So please leave scuttle crabs to your jungler. This is a little bit more efficient.
Ooh, good choke point. Doesn't follow it up.
No one really going to be caught in that gravity field as Xiaoxi is going to body slam his way to safety as well. So
they're actually sending Acorn top. So does have his teleport available, can get involved, but wants to get that big creep wave. But that said, if they're expecting a 5v5 to happen here, especially because they know that Aluka's over here. Okay. I'm just curious if LGD are going to pull the trigger or if they're buying time for Acorn to apply pressure top.
Well, he is going to be able to do so. Xiaoxi actually getting a body slam over. Spirit not going to be found by that barrel. LGD now have an opportunity to set up some vision. You can see that pink ward just went down. Aluka in the bottom side of the map means that they know that they have a little bit of time. Of course, the teleport is available to him as well, and now needs to head towards the top side of the map because Acorn is pressuring that inner turret. So, like you just said, able to get in there, make pressure happen on other sides of the map, and you can see LGD actually moving towards the mid lane as well.
Prepping waves.
Yep.
Making sure that before they approach this dragon that all of the waves are pushing forward so that if something goes wrong, it minimizes any sort of loss. but maximizes any sort of victory. Because if they ace here, then they have so many waves that they can just quickly run to and pick up 3 towers.
Well, you can see Spirit was waiting in a flank point. Imp actually has to go the long way around here. LGD with the Dragon very, very low. GA speeding himself up by landing that Q. Spirit wants to be able to get the steal. Gets in there, gets it, takes it away as well. Does use playful tricks. The gravity field's down. Spirit might find himself in the wrong position, though. Godby gets caught by the fish. Spirit flashes his way out. WE, they grab themselves a Dragon, and they get everybody out to safety.
Beautiful steal from Spirit right there. Again, Xiaoxi had the cask, so maybe some nerves coming through for this first.
Well, Jie as well with the death ray with so much damage on that just meant that they could coordinate a little bit more burst.
But he could have just casked
That's
Fizz
true.
away and looked for the burst.
Please leave. The ensuing team fight might have been at risk at that stage is what I'd say. Not sure. Look, I'm looking for excuses here.
I'm still really, I'm on the fence. TBQ versus Xiaoxi. I want it to work out.
Well, look, at the moment, LGD with a 3,000 gold lead. Trinity Force completed for Akon. As Imp hasn't grabbed the Infinity Edge just yet. Akon looking to try and get some damage down to Luca. Whoa, danger. As Mystic was hanging around as well. Xiaoxi is up towards the top side. You can see the ward here meant that LGD knew exactly what was happening. Mystic following a Luca now. LGD know he's moved up here. Conan's here as well. They decide that they don't want to start any fights. Spirit going to get slowed down by PYL. Throws a Zephyr at him. And Imp now continuing to pressure the mid lane means that GA does have to head straight back there. Godby going to be splitting on the bottom side of the map, completely unanswered by WE. Of course, we have the inner turret at that point.
PYL?
Wow, LGD actually leave this top lane out of turret.
The ping went down. They knew that they were going to sacrifice that for deep vision and pressure onto the bottom side of the map. Is a bit suspect of what kind of counterplay that they're going to make. I would expect it to be either... I would expect it to be on the mid lane, but Godby is not roaming up for a flank, so they're actually just going to lose a free objective.
Yeah, not this time. Of course, Godby actually decided to go with the Lucidity boots and grabs himself a Luden's Echo. So I actually really like this because Godby already loves mobility on his Orianna. That's how he plays. Often built very early Alacrity enchantment on his boots. So now the way that he sort of accounts for the fact that you lose the Morellonomicon or the Athene's Unholy Grail by going this particular build with the Rod of Ages, just grabs himself the Lucidity boots and then grabs the Luden's Echo. So
it also empowers Godby's natural tendency to be the secondary split pusher on his team and wave control, so having the CDR for more dissonance rotations, likewise
Luden's for more
exactly.
AoE.
The Luden's for more AoE and movement speed again, so moving in between those lanes. So it really just empowers him and his style as a player.
A little bit more than it already did. So, of course, Godby being pretty quiet this game, went down the bottom lane, picked himself up a kill, but has otherwise not been doing a whole lot. Lucan has a lot of fun cancelling auto attacks a lot, and it just looks really weird. Looks like he's about to fall over.
It's actually been, again, a really quiet game from LGD.
Yeah, they're just slowly winning.
So, just slowly winning. I'm just passively beating you.
Yeah. What do you think about Akon's decision to pick up the Alacrity enchantment on these boots as well? I mean, Home Guard often wants to be picked up with the teleport. Is there any reason in your mind that he'd go for the Alacrity instead?
Just wants to move faster. I mean, Aurelia already has insane movement speed by herself. It's really key in these team fights that you're able to chase down Vayne. Aurelia does have a lot of tools to do that anyway. Not quite sure if I completely agree with it, just because you're then sacrificing pretty much the entirety of the teleport flank, but...
Well, the explosive cask here from Xiaoxi. Might be trying to turn it around here, though, is Aluka. The rest of the team was moving up, but you can see Spirit and GA there on the bottom side. Godby might be in trouble. Fish not going to find him at all.
Hello, Spirit?
Team?
That is a mechanical misstep, so what you want to do is, as you queue towards your opponent, you throw out the fish.
Yeah.
Godby did flash, so I'd have to watch that one in slow motion if he threw it after. It looked like he queued and then he threw the R instead of doing it simultaneously. It's like Rengar. In Leap, you throw your net to guarantee that it's going to land.
Activa's not going to land here from Conan. There's him trying to clear out this minion wave. Nice use of an early devastating smash. Devastating blow, I believe.
Every time I hear Sion's ultimate, what is it, Unstoppable Onslaught?
Yep.
I just think of the, what's the word I want to use? Frankenstein child between Malphite and Hecarim.
Well, I think about, yeah, both Malphite and Hecarim together. Their ultimates.
Losing another free objective.
Yeah, LGD sort of just bleeding at the moment. W able to pick up some objectives around the map. 40 seconds now on this dragon, but it's one apiece at the moment. LGD probably would have been wanting to go for their third at that stage. Now at the moment, WE, of course, they managed to grab the outer turret in the mid lane, so they've got the lead as far as these turrets are concerned. LGD need to start doing stuff, Prosper.
They're doing nothing. They're passively losing any sort of momentum and lead that they had. So they still have the gold lead by about 3K right now. But for the last 6 minutes, so since the last dragon, LGD have just let WE close that gap.
Just let them do things. Well, LGD now going to be clearing out vision around this dragon. You can see it's just spawning now, hopping up onto the ledge. A very, very fast Godby now that he's completed the Alacrity enchantment that he loves so much on his Orianna. He's sprinting around. Looks like he's got Ghost on. Silly.
And there we go. That's how he plays Orianna, placing his ball offensively for a zone, stepping forward, making sure that he can quickly move it around, and that guarantees LGD the next free dragon.
Yeah, they do grab it, so 2 dragons to 1 now. WE now looking to try and get some pressure in this mid lane with 3 members strong. GA makes short work of that. But LGD able to get into position just fine. Not deciding to sweep that one out as all their sweepers are on cooldown. Godby actually deciding not to go for a sweep, but we've spoken about Godby many times before about the fact that he loves to be able to sit in a brush.
And assassinate people.
Yeah, but he's going instead for the upgraded Warden Totem.
Likewise, though, since he's spending so much time pushing waves on the bottom side of the map, it does empower him more so to pick up kind of that pseudo Sightstone through the Trinket upgrade. Yeah. So he can ward his flanks and continue to push forward. The reason why he's not doing it in that case and why he's trading places with Acorn is because the Baron is in play at 25 minutes. And because he doesn't have the double teleport as he did last time, he needs to make sure that his teleport is on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, so Acorn is going to make his way to the bottom side. You can see Godby now discovering Spirit here on the red side of the map.
Okay, here we go.
It's going to be popped. GA, they're looking for him. Already down to half health, though, is Imp. The Chaos Storm comes down, and Imp has to get out of there. GA just answers with damage. He's going to be fine.
I feel like LGD are on completely different pages right now. So Imp trying to pull the trigger, forcing the pick on Xie. Xie turns around and says, you know what? Just blows him up with a bunch of damage. And unfortunately, a misplaced cast from Xiaoxi really pushed him to safety.
Yeah. Well, Imp goes back, grabs himself the Static Shiv, does still have those double Dolans sitting in his back pocket. Longsword now as well, probably looking towards that last Whisper.
He's so fast.
Yeah, he's so fast. I wonder whether he's going to go for Spooky Ghost now, grab some extra movement speed.
I don't think he'll go for Spooky Ghost.
Spooky Ghost and a Lich Bane.
And just run you down.
And just run really, 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 really fast. We'd have an experiment on diminishing returns for movement speed at that stage. Acorn looking to come through here as the fish goes a little bit wide. Unstoppable Onslaught not there either as Spirit is doing some decent damage. Is the steal going to come through? Xiaoxi's there, grabs the Baron. The rest of WE now in shambles as the Shockwave comes down onto Mystic. Definitely a priority target, but gets over the wall. Nice devastating smash there from Aluka, but he's going to get Equilibrium struck. And LGD going to close in on the Sion. The first kill actually for this, as LGD are going to be able to take the big man down. Oh, actually Imp is going to destroy Conan there. Mystic did manage to get back to base, but WE went for the Baron. They lost it, lost 2 members of their team, and now LGD with a lot of pushing power.
So many cooldowns burned and whiffed on the side of WE. They didn't connect with the Fizz ultimate or the Sion ultimate. More importantly, from Aluka leaving the pit with the Sion ult to try to connect on the LGD flank, left Spirit to tank up so much Baron damage, and really a whiffed smite coming out of Spirit.
Xiaoxi was actually pretty good to hold onto it for so long as well, just eyeing that number instead of making sure that he was just jumping over the edge to get a smite in there in the hopes that he'll land it.
The thing, though, is I still feel like this is LGD just being... No, excuse me. WE messing up versus LGD executing the correct play.
Yeah.
And that's what's a little bit concerning. So game 1, it looked very much closer to what we expect from LGD, very smart, controlled map play, especially with their minion waves on the side using the double teleport. This time around, just very passive, not very... LGD are playing reactive, and LGD don't play reactive. Their identity as a team is being proactive around the map. But here we go.
Yep, speaking of proactive, it is going to be Kernan locking up PYL with that Aqua Prism, and then he's immediately destroyed.
I'm not quite sure what's happening right now.
Right. Godvy's built well, the Ancients, though. So that's cool. And he's actually got 25% cooldown reduction, so if he does go with the cooldown reduction per level blues, means that he does have 40% now for himself. Not entirely sure whether we can show whether that is the case, but I'd be interested.
We can click on him.
Yeah, I like it. Cooldown reduction is very important if you're going to go with the Luden's Echo, just so you can get that one back off cooldown as quickly as possible. Utilize the extra little purple blobs to come out. That was the best that I could do as far as the name for it. Not sure whether it's good enough.
LGD were posturing to look for a team fight. That said, PYL wasn't with them, so they do not pull the trigger. Dragon will be spawning in 1 minute and 20 seconds. And again, LGD have a very secure lead, 7K gold, but I feel like it was more so gifted to them rather than earned. So
yeah.
I would like to see how they approach and set up this team fight.
They've got 1 out of turret from this Baron as well. They just really didn't decide to do anything with it. LGD with the top wave actually pushing against them at the same time. Imp's going to come down and shove out this bottom wave. That is definitely LGD-esque, but the fact that this top wave now in control over Luca is pushing is strange.
Imp has a Blade of the Rune, so technically is a Bilgewater Cutlass.
Yeah, he does have a Bilgewater Cutlass. Why is that funny?
It's funny. Sivir is typically considered an AD caster, although Imp does play her very much more auto-based, because again, it's mostly about his W versus his Q.
Yeah, he built it last game. He likes the Blade of the Rune King on Sivir.
It's going to help him kite, and naturally it will synergize very well with creating space, which Sivir's passive as well as her ultimate does. So it's not completely out of the blue. It's funny. It's the fact that Spirit finds PYL, the fact that Godvy's items really empower his style of Orianna, and then likewise Imp building the Blade of the Rune King. It's very Name-esque. Like, it empowers them as people.
Oh, they're looking to sandwich Spirit here. The rest of WE coming around just to try and lend him a hand. You can see Death Ray over the wall, just deterring the rest of LGD from collapsing on that one. But LGD, with this massive wave pushing it on the top side, are going to start off the Dragon.
Okay, here we go. This is LGD-esque. Complete control over the pit. We'll see where they now move their pressure. Acorn going to go ahead and back and reset that wave in the top. It is slow pushing against WE as soon as that wave cleans up. Actually, Imp might beat him.
It did actually reset on the turret there as well, so Imp going to be able to take down some Raptors. Yeah, going to help Spirit out with this Scuttle Crab. Oh man, I just don't like it when anyone but a jungler takes a Scuttle Crab. I don't know why, because like the extra 30 gold is such a big deal. It's not a big deal, Max.
No, it's not.
It's not at all. Death Ray going to be able to clear out this mid lane though. I love Victor's wave clear. It's pretty strong. As Civ going to demonstrate the fact that hers is pretty good too. Backing now is Imp, probably looking to finish up his next item. Held on to the Doran's Blade for as long as he possibly could as well. I very much like that, because sort of the reason why Doran's Blades aren't great to pick up too many of in the early stage is because you have to sell them to make room for other items. But now, look, he's made it to 32 minutes. He's still got them.
That's your selling point on the double Dorans.
Damn right it is.
Is that at 32 minutes we have 6 items on Imp?
Yeah, who needs pink wards and stuff? Probably Imp. Yeah. Okay, good point. Good point.
32 minutes, hasn't upgraded his blue trinket. That said, Baron's down, so doesn't necessarily need it. They do have a window of opportunity with Baron being down that they can play to the bottom side of the map, so Imp going to go ahead, set it up. Likewise, they have vision control already set up and postured there, so making the most use of that so Imp can't get flanked. Suspect that that will be their next big point of contention, and they'll just swoop down. Or maybe they'll just completely not play as a team and stand around randomly on the map.
It is a bit interesting the way that they're
weird.
going about this. Yeah, 9,000 gold's the lead still for LGD, so they're ahead. But they're just mucking around by the looks of things. There is a very strange item being picked up here by PWL. Not entirely sure what it's called.
That's the Ardent's.
Ardent Sensor.
There we
That's
go.
the guy.
I got you on the.
Yeah, look.
There was an assist.
There's
there.
a reason why I don't know the name of that item off the top of my head. Because it is so expensive. And just it gives you attack speed when you get like a shield or a heal from someone. But I mean, I guess it's going to be helpful for Regina. It's an interesting choice.
It's for Imp.
Yeah. It's also for Godby, I guess.
He's not playing the Nash's Tooth, Oriana.
Yeah, Clockwork Wind-Up works irrespective.
See, if he was, though, he would have been able to shred through that tower. Oh, look on the chase.
Yeah, here's the unstoppable onslaught as he shreds around the corner, gets the knock-up on a PYL. There's the shockwave, though. Spirit takes a bunch of damage, has to use the Playful Trickster in order to get himself out of here. Aluka trying to get back into the fight as Mystic is trying to kite Acorn around. Nice use of the Tidal Wave as Acorn has to deal with Mystic's damage. Look at the ball right on top of the vein as Aluka now trying to run away. Godby with so much consistent damage. If flashing forward into 3 people, Mystic's going to die. Xie looking to try and get the stun up. Does have the perfect Hex Core, so he's going to be able to get that small shockwave effect from that one as Conan is going to die to PYL. Actually, Godby grabs that one for himself. And finally, the Oriana play is unleashed. And Imp flashing forward as per usual. LGD decide to wake up from their stupor of earlier. They're going to take down a Baron.
LGD, Imp is the only one who came to play today. Back-to-back, both games had a fantastic performance in Game 1 and is really the driving force of Game 2 here. Having to flash forward and be... I mean, he is Sivir, so he does have huge initiation power, but come on. You've got Aurelia, Gragas, Oriana on your team.
LGD, I think, have just been sleeping all week. This is their only game, of course, in the LPL.
They're literally on vacation right now.
They're just waking up. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Imps, he stayed up. You know, he was still playing around as Acorn is about to finish his Guardian Angel. As
Where is that ball?
Oh my goodness, Godby has to be very careful. The fish comes down, Command Protect. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. GA locks down the kill. Gravity Field locks up Acorn, as GA does have to be careful, but Aluka stops him mid-Blade Surge. And the double kill comes out for GA. World Elite showing signs of life on Summoner's Rift.
At least someone's awake. WE now on the offensive. They do pick off 2 of those Barons right there, but most importantly, a lot of wave clear with that Oriana being down. Now, Imp is still in position, does have the Ricochet, as well as the Static Shiv, so we'll see if WE are able to siege onto this.
Oh, well, Aluka trying to tank that one up, and Mystic is the one that's going to decide to do it. Acropris are not going to find Imp as well. Double wards with this brush.
Triple ward.
Quadra ward.
Penta ward.
I knew you were going to go there. Like it. Well, Baron is going to be used to help clear out these minion waves. You can see prepped already as the top. And Acorn about to respawn Godby as well. Sitting back up, you can see now the Rabbidan's death cap completed. No Void Staff just yet for Godby, but probably going to be grabbing that as his next item. Full item slots at the moment as that Doran's is still there.
Really late death cap. What is that, 4th item death cap?
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge multiplier on his standing AP.
Pretty silly at the moment. Doesn't even have it yet, does GA. He's sitting on 530 AP, so when his comes through, it's going to also be very, very powerful. But he does have the Void Stuff now, so he can cut through the magic resist of this double Locket of the Iron Solari team comp strategy.
And again, we're back to farming. Dragon will be up in 10 seconds. LGD, I mean, at this point, playing for what, the 55-minute 5th Dragon win condition? the triple Baron victory over the last place LPL team?
Yeah, something like that, I believe. Well, no, they are going to head towards this dragon, though, that has just spawned. GA and Mystic sharing the minion waves. That is not supposed to be, guys. This Baron is going to get a ward in. Oh, yeah, saw that the dragon went down. Nailed it.
Okay, 43 minutes. 5th Dragon win condition. LGD have it in their sights.
In their sights now. Well, you know, actually it is going to be 5th Dragon at 43 minutes.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 50.
I said 53 initially, but then I did the quick math.
Nice.
Yep, nice. I didn't know if they were going to immediately take that dragon since it took them, 45 minutes to take the first one.
That's a very good point.
I had to give them a window.
Slight exaggeration there, but the Storm on the turret. They're going to clear out this minion wave very quickly. Nice use of the gravity field in the choke point. Cool stuff. Acorn is going to keep pushing this wave out. GA wandering around the river Well, WE take this in a turn.
Adventure time. Here we go.
Oh, there it is. The barrel going to be used. Spirit just going to playfully trickster out of it as now the onslaught has begun. Imp trying to get the damage down. Acorn finds his way in here as the tidal wave comes over. Just PYL. WE trying to disengage. They're doing a decent job of it as well as now Xiaoxi coming in. Acorn finds his way over the top, trying to get into the back line, but he can't get there. Shockwave on a 3 members. Godby, so much damage now. Flashing forward, GA using the heal. Mystic as well, still alive in this fight, but gets body slammed. Destroyed by Xiaoxi. Acorn bouncing around this fight after that Guardian Angel. Still able to get the work done. It's an ace, finally, for LGD, and are they going to be able to finish the game?
38 minutes late, finally.
15,000 gold the lead.
Imp is not the only one awake. Godby showing what his Origin does, what made him famous, flashes forward, finds an incredible shockwave, and then again, just running as close as possible to his enemy to do as much damage as possible with those command attacks, and LGD finally ending this game.
Yes, storming the base here, able to grab that ace and then just destroy the Nexus as well. So Conan is going to be alive, watches his Nexus fall as LGD pick themselves up. Honestly, a pretty slow 3 points.
Yeah, that was really curious. Kind of an interesting game 2 from LGD. Game 1 was what we usually suspect from them. Game 2, really slow start, kind of disorganized. Looked like there was maybe some miscommunication going on. That said, they are working with a sub-jungler, Xiaoxi, not the normal TBQ, so possibly.
But it's very different to how we saw them in previous games as well, even with Xiaoxi on the lineup. So, look, maybe just, I don't know, tired, wanting to make sure that they can play a control style of League of Legends. That's what they're practicing here, or maybe they're just feeling the pressure without a coach on the lineup.
Let's go with controlled.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds like a more fun option here. But LGD now picking themselves up the 3 points. They were tied with M3, but now find themselves 3 points ahead, which is what happens when you add 3 points onto your score. 24 now as well. So still behind Xiaogu, but not by too much.
And this is what's really expected, though, of LGD. They are sitting quite far down on the ladder, but if you look at their spring split performance, facing off against EDG in the playoffs, taking them to 5 games, it's expected that you should find it very easy to against one of the last place bottom tier LPL teams. So kind of a question mark, but points are points.
Points are points, most definitely, and that does mean that LGD now have double the points of WE. WE sitting down there on 12 now as well. 1, 9, and 6. Very unfortunate so far, but 5, 9, and 4 as far as that scoreline is concerned. Sort of 2-0 victories, ties, and of course 0-2 losses. So LGD trying to find their way back to the top before the end of the split. See Acorn smile on his face, looking ready to get onto the Rift next week. He's, of course, not playing tomorrow.
I'm a big fan of Godby's capris. Every time I see him wear those pants, I'm just like, solid.
Yeah, most definitely. But we are going to have a look at what happened to the standings after that game. Of course, now that LGD have moved up to 24 points, that's tied them with both OMG and Snake. Of course, OMG well, in fact, actually, LGD now a game ahead of both of these teams, but still sitting on a very similar score. So, of course, if Snake and OMG both lose 0-2, then everything's going to be completely even. But you can see now Edward Gaming well and truly ahead, 7 points in the lead.
What's really important to note is that OMG have not faced EDG yet. The very last game of LPL will be OMG versus EDG, whereas LGD have already gotten that game out of the way, so they still have kind of more free points ahead of them. So this is important because LGD needing to wake up, move up the ladder by tying themselves with third. You want to be in that top 4 spots for the new playoff bracket. But this also means that Masters 3 and Vici Gaming are the new gatekeepers.
Yeah, well and truly in that 7th position now, as Invictus Gaming were sitting there in 6th. UP, RNG, King, and WE now pulling up the rear as 16, 15, 13, and 12. No ties towards the lower ends of the standings, but you can see pretty sad points for WE as they're desperate to try and find some more wins here in the LPL.
I mean, realistically, the playoff dream is still alive for Unlimited Potential. If you think about how Masters 3 snuck out at the very end of Spring Split last time, WE taking the rise over them, Unlimited Potential have put themselves in a very similar situation.
Yeah, well, Unlimited Potential as well have managed to find pretty key victories around the LPL as well. I mean, most notably being against EDG, managing to take that 2-0. But ladies and gentlemen, there is still one more day left of LPL tomorrow. But for tonight, it is most definitely over. On behalf of myself, Frosker, and Sada and Rusty from before, thank you so much for watching.